That's me, Franny. I'm just gonna address it before we start this fucking episode. I have like this huge thing on my face. So I was picking at my face because I had a pimple and it was really bothering me. And I picked it so bad to the point that it's now a scab. So that's why I decided to show more of my tits today. I wanted you guys to focus more on my titties than the actual fucking scar on my face. I mean, you can focus on both. They're both great. They're both my, my best qualities. But just wanted to point that out before I fucking get into this. Hi, welcome back to another episode of Franny Teens. So today we're gonna be, oh my God, you see, I'm already nervous. Oh my God, I'm so nervous. My heart's racing so fast. Ooh, okay. Boop, okay. So today we're going to be talking all about my COVID story. It's pretty intense. I am very nervous about this story. A lot of things happens, hence the title. So I just want to take you guys along the ride and be very vulnerable with you because a lot of tea is going to be spilled, but a lot of great things also happen. So I also want to show you that when there's bad things, there's also good things. And sometimes we just need a slingshot, which means in my analogy, like you have to get pushed back really far back and then launch super forward in life, if that makes sense. So let's get into it. So let's start with how the fuck I got COVID. So, like I mentioned in the previous episode, which if you haven't watched, check that shit out because it's going to add up when you hear what I'm about to say. So in the last episode, I mentioned that I worked for another studio for a little bit before this whole quarantine started. So when the quarantine began, I was let go from HGAB. And then a couple months after that, I started in this other studio. And this studio, it was definitely intense. There was a lot of crazy things going on. I basically felt like I was doing the job of 10 people within 2 people because it was just me and my friend Lisette working this job. So we were working this job fine, everything's great. And my goal or like my duty of working there was to manage like the art direction of the studio, to set it up, because at that point there was really nothing going on as for like feng shui. There was nothing. It was just like kind of like a bland space that we wanted to make it feel like a home for creators and make it feel good. So then one day this lady came in and like I guess she was like one of the friends of the CEO that was working there. And she comes in and she's like, hey, like I'm an art director and I also have a business partner that he can provide you with a liquor license and therefore we can like collaborate. And then I was like, yeah, let's do it. Let's set up a meeting. So then that way we can discuss like numbers, the whole situation. So we go to Fort Lauderdale. This was like in June, like maybe like the last weekend of June. And it was me, my friend Lisette, and then the CEO of the company I was working for. And we go to this building in Fort Lauderdale, and at first it looked kind of sketchy from the outside, but then when you go inside, it was like this beautiful, like artistic home. Like it had like a bunch of rooms and the walls were painted beautifully. So then they take us into the conference room and it's pretty small. Okay. It's pretty compact. And there was like maybe like 10 heads there. I don't know why they had to be so many people, because in reality, the only important people that needed to know what was going on was me, Lisette, the CEO, and then the lady and her business partner for the liquor license. I don't know why there was so many people, but whatever. This is when I was a selfish bitch and I didn't think that COVID was real. I did think that COVID was real, but I just felt like since it didn't impact anyone that I knew, that I'm like, oh, like it's fine. I'm young. If I get it, it's like the flu, whatever. So I really wasn't wearing mask. I was being kind of reckless at this point, So there was all these people. I wasn't wearing a mask. We were like having drinks. So, just all that combination. Then on top of that, towards the end of the meeting, they give us like a tour of the space, and they have this warehouse where they have all the art direction stuff and like where they keep, I guess, all the props, the storage unit. And it was hot as fuck in there, like super hot. They had no AC. So we were all in there and we were all looking at the props and we're all sweating like balls, like sweating balls. And at the end, we all say bye. And like we were not social distancing saying bye, like no elbow to elbow, whatever the fuck, like fist to fist. We were like, bye, like the basic Miami bitch, like bye, that you hug and then you give each other like a little besito on the cheek. So then after that day, the next day I had an event for like a grand opening of like a smoothie spot. And me and my friend were there and it was fine. We were taking pictures and everything was great. And that weekend, I was invited to stay at a hotel with my boyfriend at the time and then their two best friends. And it was fine, like whatever, everything was good. Then on Sunday, I noticed that I was like super, super tired. Like I just didn't feel like myself, you know? And it wasn't like, oh, I'm just down. Like, no, it was like I just feel icky, you know? And I really wasn't talking too much. Like I just wasn't in the zone. So the following day, I had to go to work. This day was a little different. So this day we went to do a gig that we were recording an interview between the CEO and another person. And that day when we were arriving to the location, I was feeling like shit. Like I felt like I had fever. I had like a bunch of body aches and I just didn't feel good. And before stepping into the building, they had to check our temperature. And when they checked our temperature, like they said I was fine, but bitch, I was not. I for sure knew I had fever. Like it was not okay. So whatever, I guess the thermometer, I can't even talk. The thermometer wasn't working because bitch, I knew I wasn't okay. So then we go inside the building, we record, everything's great, whatever, we finish. Then I go over to my boyfriend's at the time's house and he's doing like a bunch of things, but I knock out. Like, and this was like 6 p.m. I fall asleep till like 11 p.m. and I was freezing. Like I grabbed all the covers on the bed and I was like, not today. I was so cold and my body felt like I worked out like 10 CrossFit classes. Like it was just so bad. So then I was telling him and I was voicing like to him and I'm like, dude, I think I have COVID. Like I just don't feel good. Like I feel like I have fever, like I'm sweating, like it's just not okay. So then the next day I was like, I need to get tested like ASAP. And mind you, I have parents that are older. My dad is asthmatic and I was just like not gonna, like, I don't want to live with the guilt that I'm going to kill my parents because I have COVID. Like, that is not it. So as soon as I felt that fever, I did not get near them. I stayed in my room. The only time I left my room was the day that I went to get tested for COVID, which was Monday, June 30th. I'll never forget. It was Monday, June 30th. And we tried to go to the FIU center and you had to make an appointment. We didn't have an appointment, so they fucking denied us. So then we had to go to the Miami Convention Center, which we then waited 4 hours to fucking get tested, bitch. 4 motherfucking hours. It was so bad to the point that I literally peed somewhere, like in a restaurant, twice because I'm like, dude, this is like intense. So we get tested. It was very uncomfortable. Not as uncomfortable as the other times I've been tested. That was actually the softest time I've been tested, but whatever, it was fine. So I go back home and I start my quarantine. I'm like, I'm not getting near my parents. I'm not drinking from any of like the glass cups. Like, no. Like I already told my parents, like I'm treating it like if I have COVID already. So obviously my parents were very upset with me because they're like, bitch, we've been telling you not to fucking go out, not to fucking do your little production, stupid bitch. And look at you, like now you might kill us because you might have COVID. Like, girl, you're so selfish. And obviously I felt like shit and I'm like, damn, you know what, you right. Like if anything, I deserve this treatment because you know what, you're not wrong. They were telling me and I was ignoring it because I'm like, I need to live my life like a stupid selfish bitch. That's who I was. So anyways, moving forward, I started my quarantine. I was in my room and I was freaking out. And mainly I was freaking out because I'm the type of person that I need to go out to feel like I am like productive. Like being in the room just is not okay with me. So all the days that I was in my room, I tried to create a plan. Me with my fucking planner, my planning life. I tried to create a plan that I was like, okay, if I'm negative, like I need to take precautions, right? And I need to like understand that this is a real thing and what I can do moving forward. If I'm positive, what am I going to do for like the 10 days that they tell you to stay inside? Like, what am I going to do? I need to plan this. So, mind you, my birthday is July 9th, okay? And I got tested June 30th. So, all those days that I was waiting for the results, which I waited, I believe, 8 days to get my results, I was like, damn, dude. Like, I was more, which is, again, stupid, selfish bitch. I was thinking about my birthday, and I'm like, oh my God, what am I gonna do for my birthday? Like, this is gonna suck. And I have, like, really bad PTSD with my birthday specifically. Just to give you a gist of things that happened on my birthday, one of them being my grandpa passed away literally on my birthday. Another thing that happened was 2 times, like during my birthday, like I've had ex-partners that forget to call me on my birthday, that it's just like not okay. Like it's just not okay. It's like I don't get the attention that I deserve on my birthday, you know? And I'm not saying that all birthdays were bad, because I've had amazing birthdays, thank God, to the people in my life at the time, you know, and they're still there. But yeah, I just had really bad PTSD. So I was like, fuck, like another shitty birthday. Like, ah! So moving forward, those like 8 days that I was waiting, I was trying to think of what to do. And, you know, my boyfriend at the time, he was like, oh, you know, like come over, like whatever, like it'll be fine. And I really didn't want to, because I was scared, because he has grandparents and like, you know, people living with him. And I was like, I'm just going to stay outside. Like, I'm just going to be in the backyard. Like, I'm not going to go in your room, like nothing. So that's what I did. And then it was fun, whatever. And then my symptoms leading up to, like, I guess the time that they told me I was positive for COVID was I couldn't smell correctly. I felt like I smelled like chlorine. Like that was like the smell I would smell all the time, like chlorine. It was very weird. I felt like I was smelling bleach all day long. And then I had fever. I didn't really have shortness of breath. Maybe I did, but maybe I didn't know, because I was just laying in bed. So like I didn't really like do anything that I was like exercising, but I didn't really have shortness of breath. I didn't have a cough either. I just felt like my nose was stuffy, but I can breathe perfectly fine. And if you heard the way I talked when I had COVID, it sounded like I was super, super stuffy, but I could breathe perfectly fine. I just couldn't smell. It was very, very strange. So fast forward July 8th. July 8th. So July 8th, they finally call me. Mind you, before July 8th, from the moment I got tested to July 8th, I kept calling like every single day to see if they got my results, and they didn't. So July 8th, they finally call me. They tell me, oh, hello, Francesca. Unfortunately, you are positive for COVID. And I was like literally my reaction was like, oh, thank God. Like, at least I know, you know, like at least I know. Just the curiosity was killing me. Like, oh, thank God. Like now I can like follow through with the plan I created if I was like COVID positive, you know? So that happened. And then like I didn't really like tell anyone for like 10 minutes, because I was just like kind of like, oh my God, like what am I gonna do? Like so then I told my parents, and they were like freaking out, because I'm like, they're like, fuck, like now what are we gonna do, you know? But luckily, since I quarantined, like I made sure I didn't touch them, like no contact, nothing. So they made a plan that they wanted to move me into the efficiency. They wanted to move me to the efficiency because it was downstairs, and my room is upstairs, and it's right next to there. So they didn't want like any like mistakes or nothing. So yeah, that happened. And then I decided to go on Instagram and let people know that I was COVID positive. And the reason why I did this is because I wanted people to understand, like, don't be like me. Don't be a selfish bitch because I have it. And a lot of people like me, I thought because I wasn't seeing people that I knew had it, that it didn't exist, or like it wasn't going to get to me, you know? And you never know until you go through something. So I just wanted to share that message to everyone because I was just like, you know, if I can get it, you can get it too, bitch. Like, don't act. And it was crazy because a lot of people were DMing me and saying, they're like, oh my God, like I have it too. Like, how do you feel? Like, you know, and I feel like a lot of people were so scared to mention this because I feel like people looked at you in a different light if you did say that you were COVID positive. Like, you were gonna lose like friends or whatever. Like, and to me, that's sad because it's like, dude, like, we have to talk about it, because if not, like, that's super selfish. If you're out here like trying to act like you're good and like, you know, you don't even educate people around you, that's like, bitch, no, this is serious, like take it seriously, then like that to me is more selfish than anything. It's already selfish that like we're out here like doing the most when there's like a fucking pandemic happening. It's another thing that you're keeping your positive results a secret and you're not letting the people know around you that you were COVID positive. That's the first thing. One of the first things I did was I told everyone around me that I was COVID positive, whoever I saw within a month span. Like, I know that's exaggerated, but still, like, I just wanted to make sure everyone was good. Like, you never know what people can, you know, are going through, if they have underlying conditions, if they live with elderly people, like, you never know. So moving forward, you know, the next day was my birthday, which was very sad because I'm like, fuck, like, what am I gonna do? So I ended up like, I'm like, fuck it, I'm gonna try to make the best out of the situation. So I ended up creating like a Zoom call between people, you know, just so like we can celebrate my birthday via Zoom, since I was like fucking COVID positive. And the day of my birthday, I was very, very sad. On my actual birthday, I woke up and I was just like, dude, this sucks. Like, you know, I was trying to make myself feel better, trying to do the most that I can do being in my room. Like, I was trying to listen to music. I was trying to like, you know, just trying to do the most, and I just couldn't. And luckily I have really great like family and friends, because I just woke up to like a bunch of people wishing me happy birthday. People were sending me things, you know, which I find super fucking sweet. Like, honestly, like, that did help me a lot, you know. One thing that, you know, got to me, that like really hurt me, was the person who I was dating at the time, I felt like didn't really, again, give me the attention I deserved on my birthday, knowing what I was going through. And that shit did suck, because I was just like, damn, like, out of all people, like, I would think you would be the one that's like, it's your birthday, like, like, let's FaceTime like all day, like, you know, fuck it. So yeah, it just like didn't feel good. And me being me and being I guess kind of dramatic, I was just like, yeah, like, this is not gonna work out. Like, if I'm not getting the attention I deserve, like, it's just like not gonna happen. So I kind of like broke up with this person like on my birthday. And I was just going through it. Like, I just was like, dude, like, this kind of sucks. Like, it's my birthday, it's COVID positive, and then this person that I think is gonna like really try with me isn't really trying. So then I called, obviously what any girl would do is I called my best friend, and I'm like, like, what am I gonna do? Like, this shit sucks. Like, help me. And then she's like, let's just have like a fucking a group Zoom call with just your girlfriends. Like, cancel that fucking other Zoom call. Like, because it was so close. Like, I decided to do this like a couple hours before the huge group Zoom call that I was planning out. But in that Zoom call, like, he was there, his whole family was there, and it was all my friends. And since it was my birthday, I felt like I had to be the one to be like, hi everybody, like, this is this person, like, give a lot of energy. And like, I just wasn't having it. I was so like sad. So then later that day, I decided to have that group Zoom call, and I was just telling them like what happened between me and my partner. at the time, and I was just like, guys, this shit sucks, like whatever. And they were like kind of talking me through it, you know. They were just like, you don't need that shit, like, you know, basic bitch shit that they tell you. So whatever, moving on. Me and my partner didn't talk for like 3 days. We didn't talk for like 3 days. And like, you know, I didn't really know what to do, because I'm just like, damn, dude, like, it was my birthday. Like, you know, I at least I tried to like bring up the conversation, like, let's talk about it, you know, let's talk about what just happened between us. And he was just like not having it, which I understand. Sometimes people are like not ready to talk about it and they're just like very angry, which I get. But like, yo, 3 days, like, come on. So whatever, I decided, since I was in this funk and like my relationship was just like basically like going to shit, and like I was just going through it, let me move into the efficiency and maybe I'll get like a fresh start, you know. Mind you, it's still my house, it's just a different room. And like the pro about this room is that I can cook. You know, I was like, yes, like I can cook now, like let's get it. So so I get all my shit, I pack. Like, dude, I pack, like, if I'm gonna be there for like maybe a week and a half, you know, I pack all these things. I pack paint, like literally paint, like canvases, like all this stuff, like a bunch of gifts that people got me, so I can be like, oh my God, fun, like let me enjoy my gifts, you know. So then to go downstairs, I literally had to wear gloves and a mask, and I couldn't touch anything. And my parents were like looking at me like 20 feet away. They're like, oh my God, a monster. Like, that's what I felt like. I felt like shit, bro. I felt like shit. And I'm like, oh my God. So I go down to the efficiency. I move in. Everything's a success. And my mom's so cute. She prepared everything, like the fridge, the freezer, with all the food I wanted. She gave me like a bunch of towels, a bunch of sheets. You know, like my mom like really did that. She took a whole like month off of work just to take care of me. And I love you, Mom. Like, she's probably not going to listen to this because she's not like that like much of a supporter. But, you know, I still love her. So anyways, moving forward, I move into the efficiency. And you know, I get the fucking endorphins of opening all my gifts. My mom got me an air fryer, so I'm like, like I could use my air fryer. So everything's going good. I'm settling in. I make my first meal, which was my shrimp Alfredo pasta, my famous fucking meal. This is when I still had taste, by the way. This is like maybe like 2-3 weeks in, which I know sounds like a lot, but think about it. I got tested June 30th is when I first had symptoms. I moved into the efficiency like maybe like July 12th. So it was like a hot minute that I was there and I was COVID positive. So I move into the efficiency and everything's going great. And then, you know, I decided to text, you know, my partner at the time that like, okay, like, you know, I know you're not ready to talk about it, but like I am. So let's talk about it, you know, because I just wanted to clear it. Like, you know, I'm not the type of person to hold grudges, and I just like kind of want to just solve the problem, because the way that I look at it in any relationship, whether it's a friendship, a family, whatever it is that it should be two people against the problem, not like, you know, just against each other. So that's the way I was thinking about it, you know. And I was just like, bro, like, let's just talk about this shit. And he claimed he wasn't ready. So I'm like, okay, fine. So I'm here like in my room, like overthinking the fuck out of everything. Not only the situation with my partner at the time, but like just everything in general. Like, fuck, like what am I gonna do about work? You know, what am I gonna do? Like, can we make moves now? And I at this point I knew that my friend Lisette was positive, and so was the CEO. So I'm like, okay, if we're like in this place all together, let's say, like, let's think about what we can do while we're in quarantine, you know, like what can we do to like move forward with the business. And I felt really bad because my friend Lisette, she was really, really sick. Like quarantine, like COVID, I mean, hit her really bad. She was one of the people that like it affected her, her health really badly. But that's a story that, like, that's her story. So, but I just wanted to mention that because it was a lot, and just wanted to let everyone know that this is real, bitch. Like, this is real, and we just have to take it more seriously. But yeah, moving forward, it was just a lot. I tried to get retested for positive. Oh my god, I tried to get retested for COVID. I would say like maybe it was like July like 16th, around there. And I went to MD now. And then my mom, she was like on a hunt to find a free like rapid test, and she did. A fucking saint. She found one. And I made an appointment to go, and everything was great. I was already like, okay, like we're moving forward, like wow, like okay, let's pray, whatever. But during this time, I was still in wishy-washy terms with my partner at the time, still really no communication. So then one day, the day that I was retested, he decides to text me and basically saying that he was ready to talk. And I'm like, oh, okay, great, like perfect. But that he didn't want to meet up with me because he was scared, which I totally understand. And I'm like, well, we don't have to like physically meet. Like it could be like via FaceTime or whatever. And then he's like, no. One thing he said that I'm just like, girl, come on. Like there was just so many excuses going on that it was just like, oh, I'm scared to meet you in person because I'm scared we're gonna hug. And I was like, sis, like we don't gotta hug. Like, we don't even have to meet in person, bitch. Like, but whatever, he decided to meet in person. We met in person. We met by a lake by my house, 6 feet distance. I wore my mask. I was like very protective. And the first thing that comes out of his mouth is, I think we should just be friends. And when he said this, I kind of laughed because I was like, yeah, okay, like you're just being like drama, like dramatic as fuck. So he's there explaining why he wants to break up with me. And I'm just kind of listening to this. And I'm just like, in my head, I'm just kind of looking at him. And I'm like, wow, like right now? Like, do you know, like we're both wearing masks. Like we're both 6 feet apart. Like right now? Like, do you really have to do this right now? Not only was my birthday, like, fucking shit. But now you're breaking up with me. Basically a week after my birthday, like right now. So after he told me everything, I told him kind of like my part, and I was just kind of explaining, I was more so explaining the situation in general of like why I was upset, my feelings. And he was just bringing stuff up from like, I would say like January. And I'm like, if you felt this way back then, why didn't you tell me? Like, you're just kind of like putting so much on my plate when I'm just like, whoa, like, where was this before, So I was just so confused, and I was just kind of like trying to understand, and I was trying to ask questions, and like, it just didn't add up. Like, it just didn't make sense. And like, one thing that he said that really affected me. And then after this is when I was like, wow, like this person is not who I thought they were. Was he said like, I just think it wasn't enough. I just think it wasn't enough. Like basically saying like, I guess I wasn't enough. And I'm like, wow, okay, so my birthday, not only that, COVID positive, and then I'm not enough. Great. Like this is the best thing I ever heard in my life, And it was just a lot to deal with because I was just like, dude, like really, like you're like, I'm not saying that like you should stay with someone because maybe like honestly this person wasn't happy with me, and maybe I understand. And I'm not saying that anyone should be forced to stay with someone because they're sick or because of whatever, but it was just such bad timing. And it was just like, I don't know, it was kind of low for me, for someone that I thought was really close to me, to do something like that, because I'm sure if the roles were reversed, like I wouldn't even think twice about that. I wouldn't be like, oops, like it's just like not it for me, So moving forward, you know, it was just sad because I literally was in a room alone and I didn't really have human interaction. Like, you know, I just had my FaceTime calls with my friends and via text messages, which was great. You know, I'm not saying that it's not enough because it definitely was, but just like the human interaction, just like someone hugging you and telling you it's gonna be okay was like really needed and it wasn't there. So it was sad. And I felt bad for my mom because all my mom can do is just like kind of like watch me like wallow in like my sadness. But every single day I try to do something for myself, no matter how small it was. In the beginning it was really hard. It was hard to like, you know, try to be productive, try to get out of bed. Like it was just really hard because like it was just so many things I was thinking about. I was thinking about like, oh my God, like am I the reason like so many things are happening? Like I'm so selfish. I'm a bad partner apparently. Like I'm just an overall like shitty person. That's like kind of like the narrative I was telling myself, which is not good. You know, I have to be like nicer with myself. And I did try to be a little bit nicer. I was like trying to understand myself and I'm just like, no, Francesca, like, you tried your hardest, you know. And it's okay. Like, you know, the best thing about this is that you can change. Like humans can change and we can move forward and we can learn from our experiences. Hence me getting COVID, learning from that, me in this relationship getting broken up with, learning from that, you know. And I'm very grateful for those things because, you know, where I am today is just so different to where I was before. And so every day I would try to do something for myself, whether if it was like roller skating, obviously like with a mask, and like if I was around people, which never happened, I would put on my mask and I would skate like away. I would skate around my neighborhood. I would try to do like ab exercises, like just something small every single day, even if it was like making myself eggs in the morning. And then I got my results back for the test that I did the day that I got broken up with, and those came back positive. Mind you, I was in quarantine already for, I would say, like 15 days. Those came back positive. So I was still fucking positive for COVID, apparently, according to this test. Not only that, but I also did an at-home kit. That same, like, within the same, like, 3 days, that also came back positive. So I was like, wow, like I'm still in this bitch and it's been 3 weeks. Like, what the fuck? And at this point I was so aggravated because I'm like, dude, like, fuck, man. Like, what the fuck? Like, what is this? I was so fucking like so annoyed. So I told my parents and they're like, dude, honestly, like you gotta sweat that shit out. Like you gotta sweat that shit out. So I'm like, fine. So I started like rollerblading every single day. I was like fucking working out because I'm like, dude, and I changed my toothbrush. Like I try to do as much as I could to sweat that shit out. And then I got retested. I would say like 4 days after when I got back that positive result. And I went to this other place that was a rapid test that you find out in 2 to 3 days. Before that was rapid, you know, this was like already in mid-July. And I got like, I did those test results and I was like, I kind of had to wait another 2-3 days. So within these 2-3 days, I felt a lot better. My mental health was a lot better because I was exercising a lot more. Time passed a little bit since, you know, the breakup happened. I was in no communication, nor I'm still in no communication with him. And I think that has helped me so much because I just don't have to see it. Like, it's just like the less I know, the better, you know? So moving forward, I just felt a lot better. So I decided to like edit my YouTube video. I released it. Everyone loved it because I'm just so talented. And, you know, I just felt good. I felt good about myself. And then a friend DMs me and he was like, hey, you know, I think this opportunity like could be good for you. And what the story was like, looking for art director for a short film, like DM me if interested. So when he sends me this, and the reason why he knew I was interested in art direction was because I art directed for one of his other films. And he sent me this, and when I looked at the person who was the director, I was like, ooh, like I'm scared, because like this person like has done a lot of like good work, and I just felt like I wasn't qualified enough, and I'm like, damn, I don't even know if I'm qualified. And then I thought about it, and I was looking at his work, and I was just like, you know what, fuck it, like I just gotta try new things, and I just have to like put myself out there, because if not, what the fuck am I gonna do? Like sit and just think about like, oh yeah, I wish I had all these opportunities, and then when they come my way, like I don't accept them. Like, no, I have to put myself out there. So I DM'd him, and I was like, hey, I'm interested. And then he was like, okay, cool, let's set up a meeting. So I was like, okay, sounds good. It's not like I had plans anyways, right? So we set up a meeting, and the meeting goes great. He really loves my work. Basically, my Instagram is my portfolio. Go ahead and check it out at Franny Teens. So, yeah, he basically really likes my work. So he gives me the gig, the art direction gig. And the first thing I told him when I got accepted was, hey, listen, right now I'm in quarantine. I'm COVID positive. I already took one other test that I'm still waiting on results for, but just letting you know that right now I can't physically go out and do things. But once I do get those results back, I'll keep you updated. He was totally fine with that. So what I did basically, being COVID being in quarantine, as art director for this gig, was I planned meetings with the interns that they had, or like the volunteers or the PAs. And I kind of just asked them like, hey guys, like, okay, so I'm gonna find all these things, all the furniture that we need, all the pieces that we need. And I'm gonna put them in an Excel sheet. All you guys have to do is contact these people and try to understand, like, is it available? Is it not available? If so, when is it ready for pickup? Just kind of get the ball moving. So then that way I'm just like not just sitting there, like I wanted to make moves with this, and I fucking did. So that's what I was doing. I did all the meetings via Zoom. That's how we would do the meetings for now, until I got those results back. So the 3 days pass. I get my results, and I'm negative. But my parents didn't trust me until I was double negative. So I had to wait another 2-3 days. I got tested that same day I found that I was negative, went back, got tested again, and then I found out I was double negative. And I actually found out I was double negative the day after my mom's birthday, which is July 28th, bitch. I was a month in quarantine, dead ass 1 month, because think about it. I got tested June 30th, and then I was finally COVID free for sure, July 28th, bitch. Like, what the fuck? Like, that is fucking crazy. Like, I mean, it was great. July 28th, the first thing I did, I went out with my mom. We went to the Nike outlet, bitch, in Florida City. If you know, you know. We had Crackle Barrel, bitch. We got our nails done. I had full on acrylics. I'll put pictures here. I was like, COVID free, bitch. And I'm like, oh, let me do it here. I was like that. You can't hear it because I have like my real nails, but bitch, I was feeling myself, and I'm like, I am unstoppable, baby. Now I'm gonna like really work hard in this art direction gig, and I fucking did. I went to all the meetings after I was like, negative for COVID. I fucking learned from my mistakes. I was wearing masks everywhere. I had Germex on me at all times. Like, I do not play. Even this weekend, fast forward to like months later, this weekend I went to the beach to go skate, like a roller skate, and nobody was wearing a fucking mask. And I'm like, bitch, that is not safe. Like, we're all sweaty as fuck out here. We're rollerblading. Imagine you're not wearing a mask and that shit flies in your fucking mouth. Like, I was wearing sunglasses and a mask. Like, I'm not playing those games. Now I know, so I don't even think I'm gonna go back there anymore. But bitch, like, no, I don't play that shit. But point is, during this whole COVID experience, I really valued my friends. One thing that I value so much, my friend Katia, she literally stayed on the phone with me, I think for 4 hours one day. For 4 hours. She noticed that I was just like super down, and obviously I was very depressed of everything that happened. She ate dinner with me on FaceTime. Like, she made sure I was good. Same thing with my friend Lisette. She every single day we would FaceTime. Every single day we would send each other videos, checking up on each other. And it was just like, I'm super, super grateful for the friends that I have, the family that I have. My parents always made sure that I was fed. They always made sure I was okay. Even though they can't physically be there, they would always FaceTime me to see how I was doing. And my age gap crew, like, they always checked up on me. They always made sure I was good. Everyone around me just always made sure I was okay. They knew what I was going through was like not easy. And I know other people have it worse. Like, literally, my friend Mari went 6 years with no kidneys. And, I look at that as inspiration because she did not stop her day-to-day life because of that. She literally is such like an inspiration to me. And like, when I was in that state where I was when I was COVID positive, and like going through what I went through, I was just thinking of her because I'm like, dude, like, Mari's really out here killing that shit, like, thank God now she has one kidney, which like we're super, super grateful for. And it's just like, you would never think that someone like my friend Mari would, be running on no kidneys for 6 years, because her energy was just out there. Like, she just is such a bright person. So I would always think of her when I was in that realm, and I still do. I try not to complain because I'm like, it could be worse, bitch. Like, just don't complain that you're just like, oh, like, I'm sad, like, I'm heartbroken, like, it could be worse. And I'm not saying that my feelings are not valid. At that point they were, but I just try to understand that it's like, you'll be okay, and everything happens for a reason. At the end of the day, I look back at it, that relationship wasn't gonna last longer than what it really did. And it happens, things happen, and I feel like this really made me understand the people who are closest to me, the people that really care about me. It also helped me understand to just go for it with this art direction thing. I still made it work. I really was so scared because I'm like, oh my God, I don't think I can do this. And I fucking made that shit work. Even if I was in quarantine, and as soon as I got out, I went full force on that project. And actually, I'm going to the premiere on Friday, and I'm super excited. I'm definitely gonna cry because it's just gonna bring up so many memories of when I was working on it. I'm like, oh my God, literally almost fainted the one day on set, but it's for the art of like film, but anyways, moving forward in quarantine, something that I forgot to mention is that a couple days after the breakup and just overall my birthday, I think it was maybe like a week and a half after, I started therapy. I was doing therapy like back in December. That's when my first therapy session was. But once COVID hit, my therapist called me, the original therapist, and she was like, oh no, like, I'm not doing sessions anymore unless you want to do them like through FaceTime. And I was like, first of all, I don't even have money anymore because I don't have a job. This is the time that I didn't. So I decided to just use like my little savings on my therapist that I have now. Luckily, I ride with my parents' insurance, which is fire as fuck. So I paid $10 a session, bitch, riding that wheel till I'm 25, bitch, the fuck. So I got my new therapist and I fucking love her. She honestly has changed my perspective on so many things. And that goes into the next topic for next episode. So stay tuned for that, which I talk about my therapy session overall. If you know me and if you follow me on social media, you know that I'm super on top of my therapy sessions. I go once a week and I always learn this great advice that she gives me. So I definitely want to show you that, like, my journey so far of how therapy has really opened my eyes to so many different things. And yeah, just so many things I learned during my COVID experience. Honestly, I thought I was gonna cry in this episode just because like it really hits home. But you know, she's strong, and honestly, I didn't get too in depth because if I did, then I would have cried. But I didn't. I'm just like giving you guys like a little like sneak peek, you know. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this COVID story. Just wanted to let you guys know that you're not alone. I know sometimes it feels like you might be alone, but you're not. I'm positive that so many people are kind of going through more or less the same thing that we all feel, but sometimes we feel like we can't expose that side of ourselves because, we might feel like a burden to people, or we might not be accepted by certain people. And just want to let you guys know those are just things that we're telling ourselves, but they're not the reality of it. So if you can, please reach out to a friend if you ever feel like you're lonely or whatever it is, or you're just having these negative thoughts. Just remember that you have people that love you in your life. And if you don't feel like you have people in your life, bitch, reach out to me, because I love you and I don't know you, but I just know you're a bad bitch and you have everything it takes to be whatever you want to be. So just don't forget that. So I love you guys. Stay tuned for the next episode so you can hear all about my therapy journey and how it's helped me be a mentally bad bitch, because externally I'm already there, but interior, you got to work on yourself too. So let's get it. I love you guys and I hope you enjoyed. Bye.